Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a game between a player called Zelthcon and MillDieStar. So everyone should know who MillDieStar is. He is a well-known Terran player, obviously from Team Millennium. He is a Grandmaster player on the EU server, and this is where this game took place. It was from a day or two ago on the EU ladder, and he is playing against a player called Zelthcon, and he is the red Zerg in the bottom left position here on Tel'Darim Altar. Now, I actually know Zelthcon. I got this replay actually off just the replay site, so I didn't know, I just saw the name and recognised it. And he's part of the Mixed Fruit community on the EU server. Now, Mixed Fruit, I have cast one of their games before from one of the players in High Masters, did an analysis on it, and it was fantastic. So, I mean, go and check them out, they've got a website and stuff. And from the chat, it seems like this is the first ever GM Zelthcon has ever played, so he's probably quite looking forward to this. But DieStar's not so quietly confident that he's going to win. But either way, this is really cool, and I look forward to casting, because I always like it when people do play sort of a pro player, so it's always a good experience for them. And if you've ever done it yourself, you'll know it's quite a buzz to be playing someone who is playing StarCraft professionally. So as you'll see, it is Tel'Darim Altar, and Zelthcon is going for what looks like it's going to be a hatch first build. Just getting this drone out nice and early. Tel'Darim Altar is just a perfect match for getting a hatch first. To be honest, even as a Terran player, you can go for a command center really early as well with no problem at all. So it will be interesting to see what goes on. This refinery is going down, so one gas kind of obviously says it's either going to be a Reaper or much more likely Reactor Hellion. And again, Reactor Hellions, as I frequently see in every TVZ game I cast pretty much, are great. They give map control, prevent creep spread, and prevent the Zerg player taking a super early expansion. Although taking an early third on this map is really difficult anyway, because you've got these rocks here, and rocks are a Zerg player's worst nightmare. You can take this base over here, but it's just so far away, and likewise close by air here, but by ground there is a long run distance if you look at the mini-map. So be interesting to see what Zelthcon does here. DieStar just getting stuff out, getting one marine out, sending it down to, I'm not quite sure where he's going to send that, just to the ramp here, so just to defend it from any sort of super early Ling pokes up or anything like that. Try to deny scouting. Zelthcon, meanwhile, his hatchery's about 3/4 done, has got a gas up. Pool is about 3/4 done as well, and if you look here, there goes the factory, so we are going to be seeing Reactor Hellions for sure. And I mean, it's not surprising. It's like saying having a Protoss player and saying we're probably going to see Stalkers. I mean, it is that common nowadays. Although Zerg players, because it is so common, are learning to deal with it. Just a bit of SimCity, good queens and spines, and you can deal with it fine. So no longer are the days of where you could lose countless drones to Hellions. It tends to be more that Hellions are just there for the map control. Now, if we take a look up here at DieStar's base, still just on that one gas. That reactor nearly finished, lifting the factory, ready to transfer it across pretty damn soon. And DieStar just starting his expansion as well, and that's because it's perfectly safe. Meanwhile, Zelthcon is getting that spine caller down, taking these watchtowers with the Zerglings, just to give him full vision of exactly what's going on. To be honest, I'm surprised he didn't go for these watchtowers, or this one as well actually, just because then he could have seen earlier, and early information is always better, especially as Zerg, because then you can react as you need. Hellions are on their way out for DieStar now, and he's getting a tech lab on this barracks as well, so you'll probably see combat shield, stim, or something similar coming out super quick. His command center's just coming up to about half done, and really that's all pretty normal. A second spine caller coming out now for Zelthcon, and I mean, getting 2 spine callers is quite a commitment, especially when this kind of area here isn't too big, and he's getting an evolution chamber as well. So to be honest, in a lot of ways I would have preferred to have seen him get a third queen rather. I think that would have been better. He could have got this creep spread really going. Now he does know these Hellions are out, but there's only 2, and getting 2 spine callers for 2 Hellions is a pretty big investment. 2 more are on the way. But DieStar actually has got supply blocked momentarily there, not even building a supply depot. One has just finished up, so everything does look pretty much fine there. And those Hellions aren't going to be able to move in, but likewise there's absolutely no way this creep tumor can move any more forward. So that's the purpose of Hellions, is just to deny that creep spread really well. And it has also forced 200 minerals worth of spines and 2 drones, of course, so that's always good. DieStar, meanwhile, just getting that orbital command in, getting stim on the way, moving that factory off and building a barracks on there, getting another barracks as well, so it'll be 3 racks and 1 with a tech lab, probably 2 with reactors, and everything's going pretty much standard there, so nothing too amazing. The second gas is about to go down for Zelthcon. He's been mining off 1, he's got quite a bit of gas stocked up, has got speed as well, so still fairly normal. Now this is actually quite a lot of Hellions here, there are 6 there, so again, no Lings are moving out, and a third spine crawler coming down now as well for Zelthcon. And again, I think getting 3 spine crawlers is pretty much overkill. You don't need it. You could, if you're that worried about it, you'd almost be better getting a couple of roaches just to deal with the Hellions, because I mean, when you're getting that many spine crawlers, you're just wasting drones, and I mean, there's not much use for them other than defending. And DieStar here just isn't moving in with those Hellions. He's just sitting them there, knowing that he doesn't have to push. He's forcing all of this commitment from Zelthcon. Meanwhile, if we take a look up here, a starport's on the way, a reactor going off on this factory as well, so we'll probably see a switch there. There we go. It's almost as if I can predict the future sometimes, but the switch does go off, and we're going to see kind of medevacs come out. We might see some Hellions dropped in as well. That'd be pretty cool. Meanwhile, Zelthcon is just getting down his Baneling nests somewhere. There we go, at the back of his natural. So Baneling's obviously a good choice in order to deal with Hellions, especially if you start getting speed. Lair is done at the natural base, and he has got a spire coming down. Combat shield on the way for DieStar there. I mean, to be honest, this is one of these games where both players are just doing the standard thing. They're not, I mean, Zelthcon, yeah, he overcommitted a bit with spines, but he's completely safe. He's droned up. If we take a look here, he's got all the drones he needs, and he's just going now for tech. He's getting that speed up. No upgrades as of yet. I would have liked to have seen upgrades come out soon, especially since he does seem to be committing a lot with Zerglings, and the Zerglings are going to move forward. They're all going to get roasted though. And that was good reactions by DieStar. Didn't lose anything himself there. Meanwhile, you will see that Zelthcon lost quite a bit there. So, again, slightly risky to do that, but getting a Roach Warren out now, and to be honest, you don't actually need roaches to deal with Hellions. They're not something that's required. This factory still doesn't have a tech lab, so no tanks are even remotely on their way, but there is going to be a drop going down. These lovely drop ships are coming, and obviously, what better way to deal with the fact that there's spines at the front than just walk right past them and put units in his base. Now, a lot of Banelings are coming down now as well, so again, this will actually deal with those medevacs pretty well, as the Mutalisks that are coming out. So obviously, it'll be interesting to see how DieStar deals with this. He might actually just lift up here and just use the Marines from that angle, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. He could have also gone in the main. Either one would have been good. Using these Hellions on the low ground just to deal with any Zerglings that do come up. They're stimming forward, and there's quite a lot of Banelings there, but a lift goes straight off, and a lock go down very quickly to the Hellions. And again, just Marines dropped out, lifted up. The Hellions making short work of any of those Mutalisks that come up, of any of those Zerglings that come up, and Mutalisks are there as well. A huge Baneling hit goes off there, though. A bit of a misstep by DieStar. That was a good Baneling hit by Zelthcon. However, you will see here that DieStar is about to have up a third base, and being a base down against the town, I mean, it's bad enough being equal bases, but a base down is never good. That Baneling did try and get in to do some damage. That spine is just hitting away, but these Marines can actually take down this evolution chamber. Still no upgrades by Zelthcon, and he is actually just going to go for it now, trying to get around with those Zerglings, but I mean, those Hellions making really short work, but the Mutalisks are moving forward as well. The Mutalisks could be used to pick off those medevacs. Obviously, if you keep the medevac numbers down, it becomes a lot better. A great surround on those Hellions there, so they do get cleaned up. That was a nice little move by Zelthcon there. If you take a look at the loss tab, he is still behind, but once he's cleaned up these medevacs, it's actually evened him up pretty nicely. He didn't take many losses at all. In terms of worker losses, he's only lost 1, so that's a good position for a Zerg player. But DieStar just had enough of this moving out. Doesn't actually have... what? Doesn't have siege mode. That is quite surprising. I would have thought that he would have had that out, but he's just moving out just with a tank on its own. But obviously without siege, this is going to be a big engagement, a great surround with all the Lings. The Banelings are rolling in, and obviously without siege mode there's no way to deal with those Banelings at all. But great Marine splitting going on. But obviously once you split Marines, Zerglings can get a better surround on individual Marines. And obviously with no siege, this wall isn't particularly strong either. Those Mutalisks just making sure work with it. The Banelings aren't connecting though. One does go down there. But obviously the Marines could pick up a lot before that supply depot did go down. Meanwhile, that will get cleaned up, losing the Mutalisks, which probably should have pulled them back. Meanwhile, quite a few Banelings are on the way, 14 to be precise, and obviously still, siege mode only just starting now, so without siege mode it will be quite hard to defend, but obviously that third base is up. It's got a planetary fortress there. Zelthcon won't be able to take that down anytime soon. plus 1-1 is about to finish for DieStar as well. And I mean, once you've got an upgrade advantage, it's going to become very hard. Those Zerglings are just trying to run in, but the wall is up. Meanwhile, those Banelings just rolling in will take down 2 supply depots, will roll in and do take out the tanks, but there's just so many Marines left that, to be honest, Zelthcon isn't going to be able to do anything there. And he has got a macro hatch on the way, but to be honest, he's not in a good spot. He's just pumping Banelings, and if we take a look here, well, he's 23 workers down. That is not a spot you want to be in. He's 23 workers down and 1 base down. Hasn't even cleared these rocks, so really, if he's going to have any chance in this game, he needs to break this wall, needs to deal a significant amount of damage. Those medevacs are moving out, and there's nothing in there. They're scouting, but also they could just be trying to bait Zelthcon into thinking there's something going on. We'll see that that 3rd base is down, so he now knows that he's got to make something happen here. Siege mode has finished now, and that siege tank is in a great position. The Banelings are chasing after the Marines, but they all go down because they don't have any upgrades. And to be honest, DieStar has defended this perfectly. He's got double the supply of Zelthcon and an extra base, and to be honest, Zelthcon is just charging him with all of those Zerglings, but that tank is sieged up in a beautiful position and is just clearing it up. Zelthcon is floating an awful lot of minerals and gas, and there's the GG. Now, good manners on DieStar's part, giving a GG as well. So, that was a good game, and I mean, the one thing I would say is Zelthcon didn't play badly, but it does show that GM players are the top of the very top. So even though Zelthcon is on a bit of a winning streak, you're going to lose to a GM player, and even more so than that, pro gamers compared to most GM players. There's quite a big gap there as well. As you get better, the gap gets even bigger. So it was a good game, fun to watch. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to my Twitter, that's at SC2_England, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.